All right, so now we're going to work on doing the methodology that I like to use for down-resing stuff, or not down-resing, but doing the higher poly versions of this stuff. We have an unwrap low res, we have the high res we've done with the turbo smooth. Now we're going to do it the other way that I like to do it. It's just a little bit tedious, but it's not as, I don't know, it'll still make you think about what you need to do, but it's not going to drive you crazy. So what I've done to start off with is I built this the crate that we've been working on, and you're going to get the same crate, so you don't have to start over or anything. I'm not going to ask you to do that, but let me hide what's unselected here. Hello, everything's unselected. Okay. But I've built the crate that we are going to use, and it's all low poly. Now, if we look at it's obviously not low poly, but if we take a look at the poly count in the tries, we're still only at 4K. I mean, that's not a huge thing for a game anymore, but there's a lot of inefficiencies in here. But we don't care. This is our high poly base, is basically what we're going to call it. And we're going to take this, we're going to build what we have. We're going to use some texturing techniques, or just some real quick texture stuff, and treat our textures like, the best way to describe it is like smoothing groups. And then we're going to bring it into to Zbrush to smooth it, because we have a lot more control if we think of it this way. For me, it's just the way that I came up with years ago, and it seems to be still pretty valid. So let's do it. It's like I said, it's a little tedious, but it works. So what I have is 6 textures right here inside of the Slate Material Editor. And again, you're going to get this file. In fact, I'll save this file right now, and now you've got a copy of it when I give it to you. All right, so they each have 6 different colors. I really am going to probably need a little bit more, but generally speaking, we want to keep this like smoothing groups, right? We want to keep this, if I go to the front here, we want to keep, we want to texture only the sides that don't touch. So in smoothing groups, like the way this is smooth, every edge has a different smoothing group. Well, we want to do that same thing, but with color. Okay, it's not horribly inconvenient, it's just time consuming. So, and we are going to start with just this piece, so we don't have to do the whole thing at a time. Okay, so let's start. I'm going to grab a polygon face, and if we grab it right now, I have it set to, by angle, I'm going to turn that off so you can show you how to do that, but I have it set to show selection in this pink, so I want you to turn that off by pushing F2. Now we just see a selection as an outline of the polygons we've selected. So we're going to go back in here, turn on by angle, and by default yours should be set to 45. If I say 45, I'm going to get a bunch of stuff. I'm going to just set this to 10. It seems to be about the right angle we want, and if we need to, we can mess with it. So now when I grab stuff, I can see that I'm grabbing stuff. And the reason I want you to make it so it doesn't show you the highlighted is because I want to use color, and if those are highlighted, it just gets distorted. So I'm going to see something here. I'm so used to working this. That's right. Hold on. Okay. So I'm going to take this first color. We'll do material 1. And I have that selected, and I'm just going to attach it to the object. So punk, now it's red. Double click here, or just click here, double click on the next texture, and say plunk, it's pink. I probably should name these too, because if we ever use this for substance, it's going to make the names come across that way. Okay. And I hate this thing. I'll grab this one and go there. I think it's, yeah, like that. And then I'll call this green. And I know I just overwrote the old one, so might as well do double duty. I'm going to grab this edge and this edge and this edge. Because say never touch. As long as they don't touch, I don't have to worry about them being weird. So I'm going to come back to here to green and add that to those, and then I'm going to get to this one and this one and this one. And really, I could do all of these except for that one, because they don't actually have a shared, well, these two share. So like for example, this would be a bad one. So I'm going to take that one off. But if you want, what you can do is just go, what a lot of times I'll do is I'll just go through and grab a bunch of pieces with colors. I just want to name some stuff here first. So we're going to call this blue, and we're going to call this light blue. And then yellow. So that's the only tricky thing. The only thing you have to think about when you do this is making sure that none of the colors that you put in here touch. That's it. That's the whole kit and caboodle. So I'm going to see about these guys. They won't touch. I know this guy's not going to touch those pieces. I know, let's see. This guy's not going to touch this guy, this one, 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 this one. And the idea at the end is we may have some tweaking to do, but it won't be too bad. Like that. Let's grab this one and this one. Might want to move this to Q so you don't move things when you grab them. The bottom's fine. I didn't mean to grab that. But this one we can do. We can grab this face right here. See, they'll be touching, so I don't want to do that one. But I could do this inside face. And let's see what that looks like. Boink. So I have all those. Okay. Now, so like these are isolated by blue and purple for me. So I can say I know this one and this one are not going to touch because they're opposite of each other. So I can probably do the same thing down here. This one and this one. And I'll use yellow now. Start using yellow. Then I can grab this one and this one, this one, this one. Again, it's probably faster just to keep going through, so I may start doing that in a minute, but I'm going to throw blue on those. But the idea is, look, I've got blue, pink, or blue, yellow, pink, yellow, I'm sorry, light blue, and then none of them touch. There's no touching, so that's the important part. No touchy. So like that. And I could probably grab this one. Actually, I'm going to go back to the blue. And I try to keep it kind of organized in my head. It's not perfect by any means, but like this one right here, it would seem like I should be able to do these whole pieces right here, but I can't. Because I need these to be separate in ZBrush. So for right now, I'm going to grab this one. Really, this is all we're doing. That's why I'm saying it's tedious. And what I'll probably do is speed do these real quick. We'll see how long it takes. This one, that one, oops, just this one. Oh, okay, that one. Can't use light blue. Let's go back to red. And this one we want to be separate. Okay. Sure. I don't really like red, but it works. Okay. And I'll throw this in there. After you get your first pass done, you'll start to figure out where you want to, this one. See, it's not touching any reds. That's the important thing. So I can throw red on it. This one is right here, so I probably don't want to throw red on it. And you can see I put a little bevel right inside of here. And I've decided if I'm going to keep that. So what I might do in this case is just throw purple on this. And that. See, there's the problem, but I'll fix that in a second. To do that, I need to turn off this edge, and then I need to pick a different color. And it can't be red or purple because they're touching, even if they aren't touching exactly. So like this edge right here, I might go to green. This red edge right here, I might go to yellow. Which means this one down here needs to be something that's not blue. I mean, it's not green, light blue, purple, red. So pretty much all 5 colors are touching. That's why we have a 6th color. And I probably will, like I said, have a 7th and an 8th eventually. These look like they're touching, but they're floating objects, so they really aren't. So I'm going to grab this one. And not to confuse it, I'll not confuse myself, I'll still use them like they are touching. And I'll grab this one. And I'll try green. Green. Yeah. We'll go in here and we'll grab this one. And I'll probably use blue, the light blue, just to keep it kind of consistent. All right, if I go over to the modes slate, if I go to modes, compact editor, and I come in here to utilities and I reset material editor slots and I use a dot and turn off the sub-object and just do the eyedropper on here. What I'll get is all these textures being shown up. Now look, it's funny because I'm still using 2 textures. So, or 3. Oh, I didn't name the 4th. And we'll just keep doing it this way. I like using the other one better because I can just drag and drop, but that's fine. We'll just keep going this way. So like this one, oops, turn on the angle. This one, and this one, and this one, and this one, never the two shall meet. And it looks like I probably should have put red on here, or yeah, red on there, so I'll just do yellow because I know there's no yellow used yet, so I'll throw yellow on that, grab this real quick, come up here, do red, okay. It looks like by accident, if you turn on ignore backfacing, that's always better too. I grabbed this and made it blue, but we got lucky because it's not touching anything that's blue. All we're trying to do is put polygons that are not touching into different color material ID, or materials actually. Oops, wrong one. It's okay, I haven't deselected it, we'll go back to blue. There we go. And in theory, I could do both sides of these as blue because it's yellow and light blue, but there's no blue touching, so I should have grabbed them all at once, in hindsight. And it's just kind of like a scavenger hunt. Where do you need to put everything so they don't touch the same colors? They can touch the same colors twice in a row, but this kind of bugs me, so I'm going to take these two out as well. Okay. We'll make this purple. Okay, so that's why I call this the clown method. It's really just silly, silly, silly. But there's no... Ooh, I don't want this to be blue because it's touching a blue, and that means it'll soften that edge, and we don't want that. Basically, what we're doing is we're putting colors down where they're different... where I want hard edges. This is just another way of doing that same thing we were kind of doing with the Turbo Smooth and making support edges. So why do I do it this way? Because I don't have to, I don't know. First off, I think ZBrush does a really decent job once you set this up right, which you will see. And secondly, it just, I tried 100 ways. There's another way to do it. Ryan was playing with one yesterday. There's another way to do it, separate every object. There's another way to do it. All these things to get a high-res object. One thing you can't do inside of 3 Studio Max, though, is sculpt on it. So if I wanted to have this in ZBrush eventually, I'd have to deal with this same problem anyway. I don't have to do it this way. I could bring it in the other way, but it gets to be a little bit messy. If I know my final model from here to ZBrush is set up the way that will work the best, then I don't have to worry about it breaking. Okay, so this one right here needs to be different than red, blue, or blue. So we could do pink. And sometimes it's easier to see it this way. This one's not touching anything light blue, so I should just go ahead and use light blue. Then this one will be blue. That's red, so this one can be red. means this one can't be blue, but it could be purple. This one could be blue. Oops, so if I selected this too. That'll bug me. There. Okay. And you may go get a job and find somebody who says this is crazy you're doing it this way. And absolutely, it is. But for me, it's kind of fast. Really, I'm just in here doing color matching. Look, this color, one thing doesn't touch another, kind of color matching. That's all I care about. Just like this. Like this. It looks like I have a yellow on the other side, but that's fine. Yellow. Okay. All right, so this edge right here. Oops. It's an interesting piece right here. But anyway, this piece, and I will grab that piece too. And this is wrong because I don't want it to go all the way around there. So I'm going to undo that and put like yellow on here. I've got red on the top. Take these two and make them purple. Oops. Which means these two could be purple. Which means these two could be, let's see, yellow again. No, let's go to red. Let's go to green. And then we'll go to this one, which could be red. And we might as well do this one too. Let me take this one. And we're going to take this whole thing. Now it's touching red and yellow and light blue. And so we need something not those. And green, so we may be getting to that point. No, blue, dark blue. Flower blue. Okay. So there's that, and we'll do dark blue again. Okay. So that's good. Now we got this thing I was talking about. See how it goes around this corner? We really don't mind it going around the corner like that. So we might go ahead and put yellow on it for now. But the problem is we want this piece to be separate. We want this edge to be hard, and this actually helps support the other one. And once we get this going, I will, into ZBrush, I'll show you what I mean. But let's come down here and see it's touching no purple. So purple it is. So this one is going to be green, because I don't see it touching a green. Then we got this one, which will be red again. Oops. This one needs to be yellow. Let me turn our angle back on here. This one could be green. This one should be red. This one should be green, not green or red, but something different. So we'll say yellow. This one is not green, red, or yellow, so it's going to be light blue. Okay, all right, we're getting close. Like I said, it's not like hard work. It's just, it can be tedious. The more complicated your model, the more you have to think through how you're going to do it. Oh. So it's touching yellow, green, red, and that's it. So I could do blue, but that would get confusing, or be easier to get confusing. So I will do, oops, red on this one. I guess I did yellow on this one originally. So we'll keep that. And then we'll do, there's no purple, it's just red, green, and blue. So we're going to see, and we may find out that there's a couple of things we should have messed with, and we'll come back and deal with it. It's not that hard. Like, I think I have this as red up here. I don't want that as red. So again, we have to turn off the angle smoothing. And well, we may run out. This one's touching yellow, pink, green. I guess there's no, that one's red. Red, pink, green. And I need two colors, so we could do blue on this one. But now this one's touching yellow, pink, red, or yellow, pink, red, blue. So the only thing I guess is left is the light blue. Okay. Let's see. Okay, down here. I'm going to change these two to green. And then I'm going to change these two and these two. And we'll just do red. And then the two, one above, one below. And I played around with a couple of different ways of doing this, and this is the one that I did years ago, and I keep trying to find new ways to do this because it can feel tedious, but I haven't found something that works as cleanly, in my opinion. So blue, red, so we don't want those two colors. We could do yellow. Oops. This one is green and blue, so we could do pink, which leaves this one to be probably the only color left, blue. Okay, let's see. That looks good. Okay. Now, the next trick is to see how it looks when it's symmetried. So we still have the same problems, possibly, but it may be okay. We may get lucky here. So I'm going to stop at this point and say, let's talk about it in the next video about how to put the colors or bring this into ZBrush. All right. I'll talk to you in a bit.